if you want to know how many pores exactly you have on your skin to the point where they're so large you can count them. Today I thought I would go through with you guys my favorite foundations and also my least favorite foundations. I've had a few comments lately from you guys asking me like what my favorite foundations are, etc. And I thought I would just film it all in a video for anyone that was interested. I do love a good foundation, I'm not gonna lie. Skin products in general, like foundations, concealers, powders, etc. I say this about every makeup product. I love every makeup product, but foundations and concealers really get me going. I'm not gonna lie. I love picking them up and I love trying them, but they are kind of one of those products where the success rate, especially for someone like me who has very finicky skin, is, you know, it's low. So I have quite a few, but I wanted to go through it with you guys anyway. Now we're gonna go into the desk format so that I can like show you and you just, you know the deal. If you've seen any of my desk format videos before, you know the deal. Anyway, hopefully this is interesting to you. Hopefully you want to stick around and watch it. If you do, let's go ahead and do the YouTubey things. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get into it. So, sorry my nails aren't done, haven't had time, and I don't really care that much about my nails if I'm honest. Secondly, none of these are ordered, because I'm really not putting myself through that, if I'm honest. And also I like my foundations for different reasons. I don't really feel like I could rank them because I like them for all different reasons. I'm actually gonna start with my least favorite first in my collection because I don't have too many of them. I have a lot more of my favorites. And I feel like you guys pretty much will know what my least favorite are, apart from maybe one or two anyway, because I'm pretty vocal about it. The first one, I know, controversial, is the Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. I have the shade 5. I strongly dislike this foundation. The packaging is kind of cool. I don't mind it. It's kind of annoying to store, but you know, I appreciate that it's different and it's like really heavy. So like I said, this is the shade 5. It is too light for me. I would recommend getting a sample card of her foundation if you live somewhere that shipping doesn't cost an exorbitant amount of money, or you're doing like an order anyway, because the shade 5 is way too light for me and it was like the light neutral shade. I'm finding it quite hard. I find that I think I'm a light skin tone, and I am in a lot of foundations, but then in a lot of foundations I'm almost classified as light medium, but I'm not light medium because if you meet me I'm super pale. But anyway, it's weird. Anyway, this is her foundation. Now when you blend this out on your hand, I do have a review of this foundation as well if you're wondering, but when you blend this out it looks really full coverage, looks super nice. Definitely you can tell it's too light for me. I can't for the life of me get this foundation to work on my skin, on my face. I don't know what it is. I can't. When I put this on my face, one, I cannot get this to be full coverage. it doesn't happen. Two, no matter how I apply it, it's like I put a layer on, there's like no coverage, and then if I try and build it up, it just keeps taking the product off underneath it. It gets patchy, it clings to dry patches. I didn't even know I had dry patches, if I'm honest with you, but this clings to them. So there you go. No other foundation clings to a dry patch because I don't think I have dry patches, but this one clings to them. It finds them, it creates them, it becomes friends with them, and it makes themselves home in dry patches. It sits on top of my skin. It doesn't smooth my skin, it emphasizes texture, it settles in fine lines. It like, you know, this is gross, but you know those products that like sit in your pores and instead of like smoothing over your pores, they settle into it. So like when you look at your pores, you just see this little tiny dot of makeup and then the full pore. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's what this foundation does to me. I hate it. I wanted to love it more than anything. I love Eldridge. I love her liquid highlighter and her lipsticks and her lip liners, but this does not work for me, and it's a hell no. Next up is the RCMA. I think this is just called the liquid foundation. I have the shade N130. It's a little bit light for me again. I thought, I'll try and pop this if it's not gonna roll. I thought that this would actually not be too bad for me, but it is a little bit light. In summer at least. It'll probably work in winter as we're coming into it. The thing that I don't like about this is this is like Tati's favorite foundation. I should have known because honestly most of her foundation recommendations don't normally vibe with my skin type, and that's the thing to keep in mind, guys. I'm coming at this from my personal preferences and my skin type, and I can tell you that I have combination textured skin. It's also very sensitive as a side note, but at the same time you might have combination skin, but your combination skin might react react differently to ingredients to mine. So I do find with foundations it's quite hard to review them for other people because everyone's skin reacts so differently to the ingredients that it's not going to kind of be the same person to person. But anyway, back to this. If I mix this with oil or a moisturizer to really make this a lot more hydrating, then I can get this to work for me to a point where I don't absolutely hate it. But when I don't mix this with a face oil or a moisturizer, I hate it because I don't even know if you can see, like on my hand, it's like settled into my fine lines even just on my hand, and it looks heavy on my hand, and that's how it translates onto the face, and it's very drying. It's like very kind of matte and cakey and heavy feeling on the skin, and it is quite full coverage. And I think probably if you had really oily skin or skin that takes like a heavy foundation, some people's skin can really just take a heavy foundation and make it look flawless, then you probably would like this. It's not for me. I can make it work, and that's why I haven't decluttered it, but it's also just not for me. Next up, another one that I'm not going to talk too long about because I do have a review about this foundation on my channel and I've really spoken enough about it. The Danessa Marek's Yummy Skin Foundation. This is in the shade 4N. I really like the packaging of this particular foundation, but I hate the foundation. Now, I don't hate it as much as I hate the Lisa Eldridge. The Lisa Eldridge, I have not to this day found a way to make that Lisa Eldridge foundation work for me, okay? I can't, but this one and like the others, I can find ways to make them work. This is a serum foundation, so serum foundations are just going to be funny at the best of times. This one's made with a lot of face oils as well, so, or like oils in general. So it's just going to depend on how your skin reacts to these ingredients. Like just because it's skin, like everyone's skin is going to have different chemical reactions to things, etc. You know what I mean? It's like, it's physics and chemistry and all that kind of stuff that I don't understand. But yeah, this one is just, on the skin itself is not smoothing, settles in fine lines, not long wearing. It is pretty full coverage. You can build this up to be quite a decent coverage, but the more you build this up, the cakier it is definitely going to look on the skin. You're better off wearing this as a light coverage foundation to get that seamlessness. It's not dewy. It looks dewy here. It's not glowy or dewy on the skin or hydrating on the skin. It is drying on the skin. Okay, this one, LYS Triple Fix Serum Foundation. Another product. This is in the shade MN1, by the way. Again, actually, this one's slightly too dark for me, which this is like a light neutral. So it's, again, the shades, you can't pick them. You can't pick it. This one's not too bad. Like, I don't really like it because it does settle in fine lines, and my lord, this lasts for like 2-3 hours max on your skin, and then it's like, okay, you need to take your makeup off and redo it. But like, you can even see just like blended out on my hand there. It's so glowy and hydrating and lovely, but it settles into fine lines. It settles, I have fine lines that I didn't even know I had from this, like when I put this foundation on. I'm like, oh, thanks for that. Thanks for letting me know. It's not smoothing on the skin. If you want to know how many pores exactly you have on your skin to the point where they're so large you can count them, then you probably want to wear this. Look, I know that this is a lot of people's favorites. So many of you commented on like videos of mine saying that this is your favorite foundation, but myself and this foundation, we ain't friends, we don't get along. Another one that I don't super love, I can make it work for me, but I still don't, like, I shouldn't have to make it work for me, okay? I don't want a foundation that don't make work for me. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Filter. This is in the shade 3. The shade itself is not too bad actually. This one's just super matte and thick and heavy, and it's just way too matte and drying on my skin, but it also doesn't like smooth my skin. It settles into fine lines, etc. It's pretty long wearing, but it's very matte. Like you can see, it's already like dried down here on my hand in that time. I just don't like the way that the finish of this on my skin, it makes my skin look really dehydrated, is that the word? Dry. Makes my skin look really dry, and it just makes my skin look really textured as well, and like I look like an old bag, is what I'm trying to say. When I wear this, I look like an old bag. So my last foundation, again, I have a review of this on my channel as well. I wanted to like it more than anything, and I really don't. It is the Rephr Beauty foundation. Now again, this is in 130N, and it is way too light for me. Way too light for me. But I hate this foundation on its own. Like, it's just not for me. It's very hydrating. Think Kosas face oil and Fenty Beauty Easy Drops. You know, the blurry Easy Drops that Fenty Beauty came out with. If you like both of those products, then this is the foundation for you, my friend. If you hate both of those products, then this is not the foundation for you, because that's what this kind of foundation is like. It's very, very, like, and I don't know if you can even just see, I don't know if this is picking up on camera, but even as I like swirl my, see how that's like leaving fingerprints? That's what it does in your face. Even when you set your foundation with powder, that's what it does. It's so annoying. It's so oily. It's exactly like the Kosas face oil, you guys. Exactly like it, pretty much, but with more pigment in it, so it's got more coverage. So again, if you like that product, then this is for you. Not smoothing, settles in fine lines. This greasy feeling doesn't go away. Like, look at, I don't even know, can you see how streaky it is on the skin? It's just, the finish of it, no thanks. It sits on the skin, it doesn't melt into the skin. But again, a lot of people like this, so it's probably just my skin type. Okay, so let's move on to my favorite foundations. Now, let's get this one out of the way. You guys know I love this. You guys know. NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. It is absolutely my current favorite foundation. It's like a light to medium coverage. I probably would go in expecting like a heavy, it's not heavy on the skin at all, like a fuller light coverage. I probably wouldn't build it up further than that, if I'm honest, because it might start to get a little bit cakey. Everything about this foundation is perfection to me. It's so lightweight on the skin. You don't need a lot. Like, I always pump out like that much and I never ever use it, which says a lot because I'm heavy-handed. It is just like, look at that gel-like consistency. It's flawless. It's not too hydrating. It's not too drying. It's straight down the line. A gorgeous natural finish. Has the right amount of coverage. This is in the shade Mont Blanc, which looks light on my hand, but actually on my face, it's actually the foundation I'm wearing in today's video. It's just perfect shade for me. It's just everything about this product. It's smoothing on the skin, doesn't settle in fine lines. It's long wearing. It looks like skin. I literally can't fault this foundation in any way, shape or form. It's pure perfection. Let's talk about a couple of full coverage foundations that I really, really love. This is the Uoma Beauty foundation and the All Hours foundation. Now these are same but different. Both very full coverage, like very full coverage. The Uoma Beauty one is a natural finish, verging on matte, whereas the All Hours is a full matte finish. I like both of these foundations for different reasons. I like the Uoma Beauty one more than I like the All Hours, but I will say I always forget about the All Hours, and then whenever I go back to it, I wonder why I did, because it is flawless on the skin. I have the shade B30 in All Hours, and it is a little bit too dark for me. So I mostly wear this one when I have a fake tan especially, but you can see that it is very, very full coverage and it is a matte finish. So absolutely don't go into this thinking, like, if you have dry skin, you probably won't like this, but it's smoothing. It's so smoothing for a matte foundation. It doesn't settle in fine lines. It covers everything I need it to cover. It smooths my pores. It is so long wearing. It's crazy, and it's just a lovely foundation on the skin. And then with the Uoma, I have the shade T2N, which is Fair Lady. This is probably a touch too dark for me as well, so you could probably shade down what you think in this Uoma foundation. But again, it's oh god, you've heard me rave about this. If you've watched any of my makeup videos, you've heard me rave about this. If I'm having a bad skin day, I can honestly just put this foundation on and it's going to look flawless. Like, it doesn't matter what skin day I'm having. If I use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer and this foundation, it will look flawless. It really will. It's so smoothing on the skin. It doesn't settle in any fine lines at all. It's extremely long wearing. It has the perfect amount of coverage. You can put it on to be medium coverage, but if you want to, you can build it up to be full and it won't look cakey at all. And it's impeccable. And the shade range is like second to none as well. So if you haven't tried this foundation yet, like, it gets rave reviews for a reason. Strongly recommend if you can even get a tester of it, because this foundation has blown my mind, truly. Let's head into a drugstore option that I truly, truly love. It's the L'Oreal True Match foundation. Now this is in the shade 2N. And again, this goes on perfect, but I have noticed it does oxidize slightly throughout the day, or it does get a bit darker throughout the day, so you might want to shade down in it. It's gorgeous. I tried this foundation from Alana Davison and I've never looked back. In fact, I have one of these foundations in my collection that's like a darker shade to mix with any foundations that I have that might be too light for me, or if I get a fake tan, etc. Everything about this foundation is pure perfection. It's hydrating without being oily. Like if you're combo skin, you can absolutely still wear this foundation. It's like this perfect, like almost natural satin-like finish. It has medium coverage. Like you can make it light coverage, but you can make it a medium coverage. And it's just smoothing, doesn't settle in fine lines. It feels like you are not wearing anything on your skin at all. It gives you this like perfect, healthy kind of glow, but not a glow that's like texture emphasizing. It just makes you look like you're super healthy. And yeah, it's just lightweight on the skin. This is like one of my all-time favorite foundations as well. It's really glorious. Now, my previous all-time OG foundation was the Bare Minerals BarePro foundation. This is in the shade 9. I also have shade 11, which is my fake tan shade. This is still a gorgeous, gorgeous foundation. I do still really, really love it. The only reason why it's kind of been pipped to the post is because I've noticed this does oxidize a little bit throughout the day, and I don't know why. I just never noticed it before. But also my Uoma and my NARS are just a little bit nicer. They really are. But I do like, this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous foundation. It really is. And if you're looking for something that's like kind of like the NARS, it's not exactly like the NARS in any, like a lot, but kind of in terms of like really lightweight feeling on the skin, and that like natural kind of down the line finish, then this is a really good cruelty-free option, because obviously NARS isn't cruelty-free. But yeah, I love this. You can build this up to be a solid medium coverage, very smoothing, doesn't settle in fine lines, doesn't make your skin look dry or anything like that. Lasts, like the wear time on this foundation is insane. I've honestly gone through 4 bottles of this shade alone. Let's talk about a foundation that is one that I generally wouldn't normally love, and that is the Zoeva Authentik Skin Foundation. Now this is advertised as like a hydrating dewy kind of product, and normally I wouldn't love those, and this is the shade 50 and Beautiful, and this is glorious. This is a really good solid medium coverage foundation. You can almost build up to be a full coverage, and it's definitely glowy and hydrating, but it doesn't settle in fine lines. It doesn't accentuate texture. It smooths your pores. I don't know what magic wizardry they have put in this particular foundation, but my lord, it is glorious. It's honestly up there with like, it would be in my top 4 foundations, hands down. It's incredible. I wear it a hell of a lot, especially in my everyday life when I want coverage, but I don't want it to look heavy or cakey in any way, but also be really long wearing. This is the foundation I go to. I freaking love this. So that is my least favorite and my favorite foundations. What do you guys think? Are we on the same page? Am I missing? What is your favorite foundation? Let me know in the comments down below. Is there a foundation that you think I would vibe with, that you have tried, that maybe I need to? Let me know in the comments. I would definitely want to know. But yeah, let me know any thoughts that you have about foundation in the comments as well. I'm interested to hear your 2 cents. But that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Thank you if you're watching till this point. I truly, truly appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time. Bye.